Oh, hi. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was just catching up on some local reading. Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. This week it's Shabbos, Parashas Toldos. We have a bar mitzvah this Shabbos, Mazel Tov to Shelley and Vlad Stelmack, bar mitzvah of their twin sons, Hudson and James. Look forward to that celebration here in Shul, albeit COVID style, but it's going to be very, very exciting. And we have, Baruch Hashem, lots of things that are going on. I also want to take this opportunity to wish a very happy birthday to our dear friend Alan Pines. Alan, happy birthday. Hope you enjoy your Shabbos and many, many good years ahead. You should be with health, nachas, and only good things in your family. Also, this coming week is going to be Thanksgiving. It's the beginning of the secular Yontif season, so just please note the changes in the schedule as we'll daven later, Shachris later on Thursday and on Friday at 8:30. And also, please, everyone, if you can, help the afternoon minions. This coming week, it's going to be at 4:20. 4:20 is Mincha Maariv, and we've been successful thus far, but we definitely need help, and we need everybody's encouragement and participation. So that with an early Shabbos ahead of us, I just wanted to share a brief Devar Torah so that we have something that we can perhaps think about over Shabbos. And the question has often been asked about how is it possible that a Rivka and a Yitzchak can have an Esav? The Torah goes through great detail explaining the differences between Yaakov and Esav. And the way we're taught and the way we're raised, it's always, Yaakov good, Esav bad. Yaakov righteous, Esav wicked. Yaakov Torah, Esav everything else. Okay, so be that as it may, and even though there definitely are redeeming qualities to be found in an Esav, and there are also questionable qualities to be found in a Yaakov, which you don't have to look too far, certainly when looking at this week's Parsha. But one has to ask, how is it possible? Two of the most righteous people that we have in the Tanakh, a matriarch and a patriarch, Yitzchak and Rivka, how is it that they can have an Esav? How does an Esav come from them? A lot of answers given to this. This is something that my Rebbe, Rabbi Wein, always used to talk about to us, and something that's resonated with me for years and years ever since. And, there are questions about genetics. People say, oh, it's a recessive gene. I mean, after all, look where Rivka came from. Besuel, Lavan. I mean, it's in her family, so, maybe it skips a generation from her father to him. Okay, that's one possibility. Another possibility that people say is that, well, the Torah accentuates the difference that the parents had between one another and how they treated their children. Ahav, Oheves, he loves Esav, she loves Yaakov. Or maybe the actual difference between husband and wife. This is one of the few couples that we find actually conversing with one another, having real interaction in the Chumash. So there are all these types of reasons about why Esav decides to go his way and why he chooses not to follow in the path of the covenant. But ultimately speaking, and this is what Rabbi Wein always told us, and while all those may be true and they may be a factor, but ultimately speaking, there is this notion of free choice. And we have the choice to go on the path that we desire. And if we make good choices, then hopefully we'll end up on a good path. And if we make bad choices, particularly with our behavior, with our associations, with how we want to lead our lives, then we could go down the path of an Esav. So ultimately speaking, it's not so much that Esav's life is predetermined, predestined for how he's going to end up. He made his own choices. And we have found this to be so often that you have parents who've done everything right. They've come to shul all the time, and they sent their kids to the best yeshiva, and they do everything, and sometimes, as we say in Megatnisht, it doesn't happen, it doesn't take. Because sometimes children make different decisions than the parents want for them. And there's no secret magic formula. And by the way, and there are many who are super successful in life who have been able to overcome the most unbelievable obstacles that have been in their path, one which we would think would never have allowed them to have any sort of success, certainly spiritual success in life. And guess what? They turn out to be fine, upstanding people despite where they came from. Because it's all about choice. Now, when things go wrong with our children, I've seen this a lot. Parents tend to find reason to blame. Oh, he had a bad experience in fourth grade, and that's obviously what set him off. Or this is what happened to him. Because we don't want to say that maybe our children made bad choices. Look, there's no question that we as parents, we have what to say. We have a role in this. It's our job to influence. It's our job to put our children on the right path, to educate them properly. But at the same time, our children make their own choices. And sometimes we as parents have to live with those choices. And sometimes it is as simple as saying that, you know what we choose for ourselves, how we decide to live our lives, will dictate how we turn out. It might just be as simple as that. Obviously, there are a lot of other factors. But in this instance, if you want to know how does it that a Rivka and Yitzchak can have an Esav, maybe because Esav chose to be who he was and to live the life that he led. Let's hope that we make good choices. Let's hope that our children make good choices, and let's hope that we give them the ability, we give them sort of the opportunity to go down the correct paths in life. We cannot dictate it for them. We cannot make their lives for them. And that's perhaps one of the most challenging things as a parent that you go through, is trying to let your children find their own way. We try our best to guide and to inspire and to hopefully provide the best possible environment for them. But ultimately speaking, it's a matter of free choice. So let's hope that we make good choices. It might just be as simple as that. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, I know, because life is complicated and we're trying to figure out half of our lives who we are or what we want to be. And by the time we get there, we think maybe we should have been someone else. I don't know. That's one for the scholars. I'm just telling you a little bit of Chumash in this week's parsha. Yitzchak and Rivka, they struggle with their children, I'm sure. They struggle with one another. But as we do, this is something that's definitely relatable. But Yaakov and Esav, Yaakov made his choices, Esav made his choices, and in the same vein, we also have our own choices to make. I hope everybody has a wonderful Shabbos. I hope everybody is healthy and well rested and enjoy time with your family, especially in these long Friday nights. I hope you'll take time to look at our questions of the week for the table, the Torah for the table. I want to thank Jacob for providing it this week. And again, wishing each and every one of you a Shabbat Shalom.